Woo!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I am your host, Simon Grunewald, here, as always, with John Luke Garofalo. How's it going, JL?
It's going great. How are you doing, Simon?
I'm doing all right. I miss Jeff.
Yeah, man. It was great when Jeff was here.
I know. He actually got taken captive by the folks at Purina while working out that brewery deal. He pushed too hard for their secret dog food flavor recipe, and they kidnapped him. So he's being hostage in the Purina factory right now. I hope he makes it out. We'll see.
I'm not going to save him.
So yeah, I'm not going in there.
Those Purina
crazy.
And he said the same thing at the same time.
Swamp, what's up? Who dat? Hey, another. I know
Swamp?
the Saints did not make it to the to the Super Bowl, but you got someone in your division there. I don't know if that makes you feel better or worse.
He said, "Your boy won money." Yes, you did. My goodness.
That makes you feel a little better.
It would make
Tim McDaniel says the Saints suck. Swamp, just before you get defensive, he is also a big-time Saints fan.
Yeah.
That is another Saints fan in there.
Yeah, some self.
How's it going? What did you just walk into?
What up, Jeff?
We were that could be confusing because we were saying that Jeff was kidnapped by the Purina.
Oh God, yeah, the different Jeff. Sorry,
different Jeff entirely. You were not kidnapped by the folks at Purina,
unless you were.
Blink twice if you're currently in the Purina factory,
and then let us know if you blink twice.
Yeah, and then let us know in the chat. Today we are doing a mock draft for Mock Draft Monday. I don't know how many spots are left. There are 2 spots left. It's filling up quick. Oh no.
Unamused.
Man, we're gonna have to send. I think that's him blinking.
That might be him blinking.
I think he's telling us he's in the.
All right, strap up, Simon.
I'm not going in. We'll whoever has the worst team power rankings wise at the end of this draft has to go rescue Jeff
subjective.
and Jeff.
How are you gonna do that, Jeff and Jeff?
It'll be based on my totally objective rankings. JL, I just have a feeling yours is going to be the worst.
Thanks. My name is Jeff.
Good one.
Classic.
Swamp says this is an interesting draft. Pretty sure I'm gonna do booty. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do booty later too.
Is the booty in this draft? The booty 81.
But just so for a little bit of information on what Swamp is saying for this mock draft, we're doing another 2021 PPR redraft league like we did last week, but we mixed up the roster settings a little bit. Instead of your typical 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex, we're doing 1 QB, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end, and then 5 flex positions. So the roster construction of this league is completely different than what you're doing. Completely changes how you value positions, who you can start. It'll be interesting to see how draft strategy changes for this one, how you guys adapt to the different values that positions have now. So I'm excited to get into that. Oh, wow. It's a record. Our draft is full.
Whoa, that was so fast. I honestly thought that you forgot to send it out. And I was like, man, we're going to have to sit here and wait.
We've got a full draft, so we can get started in a couple minutes. But before we do that, if you guys like mock drafting with us, if you like our mock draft videos, we're going to be doing these every Monday all off season on top of all of the other streams that we do. We stream 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. And if you never want to miss one, you want to catch up on the old ones, you can subscribe to us on YouTube or on Twitch. We are Front Yard Fantasy on both. You can hit the notification button on YouTube so you never miss when we're going live. Twitch can send you notifications as well. And if you miss one, you can go back and watch it on either platform. And then also, if you want early access to these mocks, make sure you get in. If you missed out on this one because it's already full, reach out to us and we can have you added to our Discord where we posted a little bit early for
putting the invite in the chat.
There you go. You don't even need to reach out to us. The invite is out there. You can join our Discord. We post our mocks for the week in there before we post them in here.
We also talk about just ridiculously stupid things sometimes.
If you want to see Spicy McNuts TikToks that go viral, if you want to see us talk about random things, Star Wars, I think we've had conversations about in there.
Listen to me disparage the new Mario Kart.
Listen to him disparage the new Mario Kart. Also, I was thinking about this the other day. Swamp must sit there and cringe so hard sometimes whenever we talk about Smash. Like whenever we're sitting here like talking like certain things about Super Smash, he's probably just sitting there like, oh God, what are these noobs doing? Like,
never introduced us to his friends.
He's like, I swear they're cool guys. They just don't know how to smash. What's up, Sean? Sean has a quick dynasty trade. Oh man, I'm excited. We don't get as many trade questions now that it's the offseason. I'm hoping they start ramping up.
I've been feeling withdrawals.
So quick dynasty trade question. Instead of Discording it, declined the dude's trade. Told him I wasn't comfortable moving Galladay till we see where he goes. He messaged me back. His Noah Fant for my Brandon Ayuk straight up PPR tight end premium.
Oh, tight end premium makes it maybe a little more interesting, but I still don't think that value matches up.
I agree. I straight up, whenever I first saw this, before I saw tight end premium, my immediate thought was no way. Tight end premium moves it a little bit closer, but not
What's
enough for me to.
Sean,
I'm guessing 1.5. That's usually what tight end premium is.
Okay. Let us know if it's not the case.
Yeah. So usually, for those that don't know, tight end premium leagues, how it usually works is it'll be a point per reception for all other positions except for the tight end. The tight end will get 1.5 points per reception or something more. Sometimes it's 1.75. So it'll be a little bit different. It makes tight ends a little bit more valuable. But what you have to think about is all tight ends are now more valuable, not just Noah Fant. So while Noah Fant's value goes up comparatively to others at the position, it's still the same because all tight ends have that 1.5 PPR. So
yeah, and you're only starting one tight end still.
Yeah. So unless you're starting two tight ends here, I guess it could make it more interesting to throw in your flex. Like you may be more likely to throw one of those other tight ends into your flex position. So it does bump the value up a little bit, but it's not enough for me to trade tight end premium.
Their values aren't very close. I think Noah Fant is like, what up, Unicorn? Welcome in.
Oh man. That was, I don't know if you know this, but cows are my favorite animal. So that's the perfect way to greet me on the stream. I have a giant cow tattoo.
Yeah, but
because I love cows. My calf. I have a calf on my calf. I call it my calf because I love cows.
It has boobs written on it.
It has the number 80085 on its ear tag. So I guess technically it does say boobs, but most people don't notice.
I went to school enough to know that spells boobs.
Most people don't notice that the ear tag on my cow says boobs. They think it's just an ear tag with random numbers on it. But it's like, it's the perfect little detail that makes it perfect.
It is the cherry on top of the cake.
So Sean says 1.75 tight end premium, but sorry, Joe, yeah. I interrupted you with the classic interrupting cow joke.
Yeah, classic. You can get a lot more for Ayuk. His value's gone way up. I think I do remember you were QB needy and tight end needy, so I'm not opposed to trading for a tight end, like trading Ayuk for a tight end. But for Fant, straight up no. If you can get maybe something else like a pick or something.
What level of tight end would you trade Ayuk for straight up?
That is a good question. I feel like tight end makes
Gesicki? Do you have Gesicki above Fant?
I think
Goddard. I think I might draw the line at Goddard. I think I might trade in a tight end premium league. Brandon Ayuk for Dallas Goedert straight up, but that's about where the line is.
No, I wouldn't. I think Ayuk is still way more valuable than both those guys. Overshooting it, I guess. Mark Andrews.
Yeah, that would be way too much.
He's a little bit. He's a little bit more valuable, but you can maybe he's not way off. Certainly not way off. So you could probably supplement something and get Ayuk. Or I'm sorry, trade Ayuk and something else to get Andrews. But I don't know if you want to make that trade. I know you're not a big Andrews fan, Simon.
It's not that I'm not a big Andrews fan. I'm not as high on. Everyone else is a big Andrews fan compared to the general consensus. Like I still have him as like a top 5 or 6 dynasty tight end, but he's just not my number 4 or 3. Like I feel like he is for most people. He's 5 or 6.
Yeah, you could probably get away with maybe trading Ayuk in like I don't know, late first or like Tony Pollard type or Darrell Henderson type.
Yeah, see if you can do that. Or a guy that I might look to target is Ayuk plus something for TJ Hawkinson. That would be someone. This might be the last opportunity where you could get him for a reasonable value.
Yeah, I wonder how Hawkins. That was a name that we probably should have mentioned instead of jumping to Andrews.
Well, because I
Still not
personally,
quite.
I mean, and just to back this up, in the dynasty league that we're drafting in right now, JL, Mark Andrews and TJ Hawkinson were on the board, and I drafted TJ Hawkinson above Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Like I do have him above Mark Andrews, but I think a lot of people will still have Mark Andrews above.
Yeah. Oh, NBA Ray said, happy Monday to all of you. Happy Monday to you, NBA. Welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. He said, thank you for the Super Mario wreck last Friday. I think that was
How
all
did you
credit
play?
should go to Swamp.
Yeah, Swamp gets all the credit on that one.
We didn't do anything. We were just basically like a telephone. We just relayed that information.
I need to thank Swamp for that as well, because my Friday night was playing Super Mario 64. That's what I spent Friday night doing.
I started the game, I walked into the castle, and then I shut it off.
Oops.
That's how quick my attention span disappeared.
I got to the water level, died underwater like 4 times, and was like, I'm gonna take a break.
Oh God,
and
that
to the next day.
Don't joke about that. You almost died underwater last week.
DFF Carp says there's nothing wrong with being wrong. Love you guys though. Andrew's greater than Hawk, but they're both good. 4 and 5 for me. Oops.
Yep, I totally agree with him.
They're close. I'm not like strongly anti Andrews. I just am very pro Hawk. I've got him at 4.
Pro Hawk. That
pro
sounds
Hawk.
Awesome. Tony Pro Hawk skater.
Pro Hawk.
There's something.
Let's
there's
see.
something there. And
what's up, the fantasy scholars? And he wants to know, how much does TJ Hawkinson scare you without Stafford? A little bit. Like I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit scary, but something that helps is there is uncertainty. There's a new coaching staff coming in. I believe in the talent, and if they're gonna get a young QB, a lot of times tight ends are the young QB's best friends. They're a nice safety valve. Tight ends worry me a little bit less whenever it comes to switching quarterbacks than wide receivers do. But tight ends also scare me a little bit more when it comes to switching coaching staffs than wide receivers do. I feel like some coaches entirely scheme out the tight end. Like Bruce Arians has been known for not using his tight end as much. We've seen some value with Gronk this year.
Some QBs are like that too, though, right? Where they just they're more comfortable bombing. There was like a QB that was well known for that in recent years. Just like never used a tight end. It's escaping me at the moment, but we kind of mentioned this a couple maybe last week. But the way that I think about this in Dynasty is like you want to find uncertainty where there's you want to find a player who has talent, right? You believe in his talent, and then if there's uncertainty that is affecting his value, then that to me is a good opportunity to get a lot of good value. And for Hawk, I don't know that his value has been hurt yet by the Stafford news. But if you see his ADP going down, I'd certainly be interested. Or I'm definitely interested in Dynasty. Redraft, I might be like a little bit more reserved. But if his ADP goes down, then it's definitely worth it. Yeah,
and you bring up a great point. Swift is their blanket, though, not Hawk. And I don't even disagree with that. But what's going on there?
Blankets.
Yeah, maybe it's pretty cold in Detroit right now, I'm pretty sure. And Swift's not a weighted blanket, so it's not like the only blanket you need. You would definitely need another blanket. But
if Jeff was here to tell us exactly how much that blanket weighed.
I feel like this point that you're putting up there is kind of building off of what JL said. Like, Swift is their blanket, though, not Hawk. This is the uncertainty going into next season surrounding TJ Hawkinson. So if you believe in the talent and there's this uncertainty, that could be where you can find value. Like, that's where you find value. Exactly what JL said. Uncertainty plus talent equals value. Not always, but that's where you can find that dip. Yep. So Josh had some input for Sean's trade, though. He said he thinks it's pretty fair.
I don't know, Josh.
Sorry, Jeff. Jeff Euster said that in a 1.75 tight end premium, he thinks that's fairly fair. Brandon Ayuk straight up for Noah Fant. I would try to go a tier higher at tight end, but Josh thinks if you need help at tight end, sorry, Jeff, that you could do worse than Noah Fant, that's a reasonable trade.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm in Dynasty, I would go talk to whoever is the
Hawk or the
manager. Yeah, the manager for Hawkinson. I guess Andrews too. Yeah, there's another good one. Just see if they're tilting or if they're off those players, they want to move them. You might be able to get
Or I see some people very my dynasty tight end 3 is a little bit older, Darren Waller. I think you might have some scared owners because he's getting up in age. Like a lot of times
If you could
dynasty
move
players.
Waller, would you move Waller and for Hawk and some other piece?
No,
Really?
I
In
would not.
Dynasty?
I don't think I would. I think you've got another 3 years, 2-3 years of like top 3 production out of Darren Waller, like a lot safer, and that's the window I'm looking at in dynasty. I think unless you're completely rebuilding, don't move Darren Waller.
That's fair.
Because I think you're going to get like not top tier value from him because he's 30, or how old is he? 30 or 31. Like he is a little bit older. So you're going to get like depreciated value off of him. Unless you're completely in full rebuild mode, I'm not moving Darren Waller. But maybe the Darren Waller owner in your league is rebuilding, and you could get some good value for a player like Darren Waller. DFF Carp says Bedhawk never comes close to what Waller has produced. I agree with that. I think Waller is an elite tight end. I think he deserves to be in the conversation with Kittle and Kelsey, which is why I'm not moving him. So he's 28, so he's almost 30. So he's got in tight end years.
He's got 2 more years.
In running back years, he's an elder statesman. In tight end years, that's a young pup. He's alive and kicking. He's got a couple good years left in him.
Yeah. John Finn said, who's the QB in Detroit in 2021? Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Nice.
I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
DFF Carp says Hawk and Andrews will never, ever be elite. I don't think Andrews will be elite unless something changes at the quarterback position there, because the way they have that offense
will change over his, like his situation will change over his career. Most likely.
Hawk, I'm a little less sure about. I think he could make the jump, but we'll see. I'm curious what you guys think about Kyle Pitts. Where does he, like, what's the next tight end you think could jump in and be this elite tight end? Is it Kyle Pitts?
Yeah, maybe.
We'll
definitely possible. I don't know. I don't know that that they won't make the leap. I think it's definitely possible. But from what I've seen, like they're talented enough to make an impact on that at that position for tight end, that even if they don't make the leap to like tight end 3, they seem to be relatively consistent. I think Andrews will hopefully always have that touchdown upside wherever he goes.
Yeah. Packers fan 22 with the
Tunyon's old.
With the suggestion related to their name.
Tunyon's like 30 something.
He's 26. He's not old at all.
What?
Yeah, Robert Tonyan is 26 years old.
In my mind, he was way older.
So I agree. I thought the same thing. I looked at that recently, but
I understand what I said.
Same thing as there's a little bit of uncertainty in that offense as well. I mean, I assume Aaron Rodgers will be back next year. Like that would be absolutely insane if he wasn't. But I would like to see more production out of Tonyan. I'd like to see another year, but you can definitely get value on Tonyan as well.
See him without Aaron Rodgers?
Well, not even without Aaron Rodgers, just another year. Packers fan says every tight end is ancient to these guys. Not really. I just think a lot of these players that have been in the league for a couple years but haven't produced seem older than they really are. Like Waller being drafted by the Ravens and then going down to the practice squad and then getting over to the Raiders. That seems like a full career's worth of moves for him before he stepped into this elite level. And I think that's probably why the perception is that he's a little bit older than 28.
Right. That's definitely like something, my memory sucks, but it's something that is definitely worth. I think I tweeted out this weekend that I was super surprised when I saw Kenny Galladay and Mike Evans are the same age. Just in my mind, for some reason, Mike Evans is much older. And it's crazy how sometimes that gets distorted. Yeah.
So, and Waller had issues early in the league. So I think there's different reasons why sometimes you have like a misconstrued. I almost said misconstrued conception. Misconstrued idea of how old some of these players are. There's different things that contribute to like how old you think a player is.
Yeah. Fantasy Scholar says it's really crazy to look at the difference of Kelsey compared to all other tight ends. Kelsey was the 4th best receiver last year if you put him up against all the wide receivers. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I know Simon's like a big he's like fully locked in on the draft Kelsey early, like 2nd round invest.
I mean, if I'm at the end of the first, I consider drafting Kelsey in redraft leagues.
Yeah.
100%. That being said, speaking of drafting, it is 2:22 Central Time. Sorry, 3:22. We got to get started with our draft.
We can get to the rest of the comments while we're drafting.
Yeah, if you guys are ready, it looks like P. Sewell is drafting first, followed by Batch Brothers, Swamp Nola, JR1616. I'm not going to run through the whole thing right now, but I'm going to go ahead and get this draft started. And just so everyone knows how the team is set up, I said this earlier, but just a reminder, 1 QB, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end, and then 5 flex spots. Sorry. I got really confused. Yeah, I broke for a second. I was like, how many fingers go up on the other hand? It was 4 more. It was 1 more on this one and 4 more on this one. So 9 total starting roster spots. 5 of them are flex positions. So let's get going.
Let's dive in.
Begin draft. Oh, and I did not share the screen.
You got to do that.
Yep, I'm doing it. There we go. First pick off the board, Christian McCaffrey. Makes sense. Then Alvin Kamara. That one, I'm still so unsure about what to do with Alvin Kamara. He's still in that like top 5 running back conversation for me. Obviously, he could be as high as 2. I think that's where I'm leaning, but without Drew Brees, it is a little bit scarier because if Taysom Hill's the quarterback, I'm very nervous.
Yeah.
Someone brought up a point the other day on Twitter when I was reading about it. They're like, you're trying to tell me that you think Sean Payton, arguably one of the best offensive minds that's a coach in the National Football League, is going to say, okay, because Taysom Hill's the quarterback, I'm just not going to utilize the best player on my team as much as I did before.
It would make sense.
And reading that, I was like, okay, yeah, we had a sample size this year, but that's because he didn't have a full offseason to scheme around Taysom Hill as a starting quarterback.
Right. And Taysom didn't have, he's thrust into it, so he's going to go with whatever is, easiest for him. That's why I'm saying, I'm not buying too much into that small level and saying that that's going to be his future, even if it is bad. What?
Sorry. Pause draft. They're having trouble selecting their players for some reason, so I'm going to...
What's happening? Sleeper.
Yeah. They wanted Henry. Is that what it said? Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
So 4 running backs off the board at the top. Jail, how do you change your strategy whenever it's a draft like this? Whenever you only have to start 1 of each position, and then there's so much flexibility around the other starting spots.
I put a little. I guess I did do a dynasty draft that was this format. It made running backs a little less, like the scarcity wasn't there as much. I think in that draft I went CMC in the first round, and then I felt comfortable.
We still had 7 running backs off the board, but maybe that's what people are doing here. They're taking 1 running back that they're super comfortable with, and then they're done. Know what I mean? You can punt it a little bit after that. So the one thing I would add to what you said, JL, is I think like even further than what you said, this becomes value-based drafting a lot more than other leagues do it. It's not necessarily just like it devalues running back, but it gives you the freedom to just draft the best value on the board, period. Like whatever player you think is the biggest value, you don't have to worry like, oh shoot, but I need another running back. For the most part, man, look at that.
Yeah, so
8 running backs off the board. Oh, you stinker, Jeff.
Yeah, so I think this is interesting. So the reason I didn't, I went Zeke over, say, like Devontae Adams or Tyreek Hill, is because since the running backs are going off the board, getting that like elite 1 running back is gonna free me up to then do more value-based drafting, right? I'm not as like worried that I need to lock in a running back or I'm starting, Phillip Lindsay every week. And since it's redraft, I want to make sure that I at least have 1 elite running back. And there's like a lot more value at wide receiver still on the board. So I'm probably going to prioritize wide receiver after this.
Yeah. And with, what is that? 10 of the first round picks and like 8 of the picks before me being running backs, I felt like I had to zag and grab the wide receiver value that was sitting there. I didn't want to take the 9th best running back. And yet again, I don't feel like running back value is there right now. I'm sure these teams are going to zag a little bit and go wide receiver later. So although I didn't get Kelsey, I'm going to go with George Kittle right here. And I'm going to start wide receiver tight end because I'm not as worried about running back. I can get someone I'm comfortable with for that one spot.
If DeRoost ended up going Zeke before me, that would have been a big tier break in my mind. And so I would have went Devontae Adams. But I completely agree with you, Simon. You want to figure out which position has the most value for you at that time. So if everyone's going running back, there's going to be a lot of value at wide receiver. There'll also be a lot of value later. And so you kind of have to blend that strategy.
There goes DeAndre Hopkins. So we've got 3 wide receivers off the board. Was it 8, 9, 10, 11 running backs off the board, 2 tight ends.
Oh, damn it. He went.
The jail, you're on the clock.
All right.
Yeah, I'm curious to see all these. G-Man J started with 2 tight end or 2 running backs with Aaron Jones and Miles Sanders. So he's probably set at running back unless he believes like there's supreme value later in the draft. You got 20 seconds, Joe.
Okay.
Michael Thomas. What do you think, just out of curiosity, Nick Chubb as the 3rd, 6th running back off the board? My brain is maybe that faucet did concuss me a little bit.
I think it did. You're just
Kev says, bird up. What's up, Kev? There goes Mike Evans as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th wide receiver off the board.
Awesome.
That's interesting. I don't hate it because Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown's contracts they're restricted free agents going into next year, right? I assume at least one of them will be back.
I'm about to call Swamp's pick. He's going Diggs.
You think he's going Diggs?
I think he's going Diggs.
We got Julio Jones off the board. It's crazy watching how far Julio drops in dynasty leagues.
Yeah, it's really far.
Josh picked him up. I don't even know what round it was. I think it was like the 10th round or the 11th round where he scooped up Julio Jones.
Let's get to some of these comments that we left.
We've got he wants Diggs, the player picking now.
Sorry, Swamp. Dylan said, I really like Komet, new QB in Chicago. Go make him go places, especially learning under Jimmy Graham. Oh yeah, and there's some members of the Cole Komet Club in this chat right now. So
I think Cole Komet might be in here himself.
He usually is.
There goes Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt.
So we've got 1, 2, 3 teams that went double running back. Yeah, I agree too. There's just that uncertainty. It's kind of like what we were talking about before. There's uncertainty there, but if you believe in the talent, then that talent plus the uncertainty, just because he hasn't put it on the field yet, you can probably find value there.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes. If we're being honest, in this format, I thought about going Patrick Mahomes in the first round just because I feel like I had so much freedom to fill out the rest of my roster. But I went against it.
Now, 1 QB, there's going to be so much QB value later on, in my opinion.
DFF Carp says, did someone say Komet?
Someone say Komet?
Komet is busy right now. I stole his heart. Yeah, we got some Cole Komet lovers.
Oh yeah. I knew that would be a favorite.
Double running back, DeAndre Swift off the board. I believe DeAndre Swift was the 5th running back off the board in our current Dynasty Startup League, Jail.
Yep. Remember when you got that wrong in poll perception? That was good. That was fun.
Or the DeAndre Swift versus J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, people are crazy. Like, people are crazy.
You're saying they're crazy for agreeing with you now.
Yeah. Well, because
How dare you agree with me when you disagreed with me before?
They so didn't. I'm only bitter because I missed it both times.
How dare you update your opinion based off new information?
Josh says, the games were so good yesterday.
Yeah, so
those were
NBA
fun.
said, can you guys talk about how much fun you had watching the 2 Super Bowls yesterday? Which plays stood out to you guys? Which players show out in your eyes? They were excellent games. And neither really went as I suspected. Ooh, DK Metcalf. I like that pick. Swamp. I was considering him where I took Michael Thomas.
Let's see. He wants AJ Brown.
Yeah, no, the games yesterday were good. Simon, what plays stuck out to you? You want to do Packers first? Packers.
Something that stood out to me is that wasn't like Tom Brady obviously played well. Like they put him to victory, but the fact like he threw 3 interceptions
Yeah,
I felt like I just kept looking up, and the Packers had every opportunity to win that game going down
yeah.
the stretch.
Didn't
Tom Brady kept gifting them the ball, and
they did nothing with it.
they did nothing with it. Like that was the most disappointing thing. I felt like time and time again, I was just like waiting, like, oh, here it comes, and then nothing happened. I got
Yeah.
football.
Yeah, no, I think that's the reason they lost, because they
Yeah.
didn't capitalize on that.
Yep. Fournette was a player that I was surprised by.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were. I think
He showed up.
it might have been Tyler DFF Carpier who said something along the lines of like his dynasty value is about to go up after this game.
Yeah.
Uh,
Packer fan 22 with the sad face. I agree. I
yeah,
wanted the Packers to win that game.
me too, because now I have to pay out a water bet.
I would recommend not doing it by submerging yourself in the bathtub, or if you do,
Other way.
just put your head on the side where the faucet isn't.
Yes. Yep.
Pro tip.
Pro tip.
Sean said Lazard did not play well. MVS did play well. Didn't see that coming. Yeah,
MVS had a good game.
MVS has random good games in there. I'm not shocked by it, but I definitely, if you made me put a bet on one or the other, it would have been on Lazard. But as we showed in our underdog drafts on Friday, we picked Lazard, I think, in 2 different drafts, and that did not go well for us.
Yeah.
There goes CEH. Let's see what players. Now it is my pick.
In the Chiefs game, man, there was a bunch of plays that stood out. One definitely takeaway from that game is that the Bills are not graceful losers. That is readily apparent. Sorry, Jeff. I know you're a big Bills fan.
Hey, I was cheering for the Bills too. I was a bandwagon Bills fan.
But the thing that's that, oh my God, it was so fun watching Mecole Hardman drop that punt return or drop the punt on the punt return and then come back and just like light up the field. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. When that happened, I was just sitting there thinking, like, are the Bills going to do it again? Are they going to go down early again and then just pull this out of nowhere? Like, you almost knew it was like an eventuality, not like is this going to happen? Like, had the Bills gone up 10 early, I would have been more confident. Or had the Chiefs gone up 10 early, I feel like I would have been almost more confident that the Bills could win that game than whenever they went up 9. I was like, oh no, here it comes. It's going to happen again.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought someone took the player I wanted.
Ooh, I just remembered a play now that I saw it. You took Godwin. Holy cow, Godwin is good.
Yep. That was, if we're being honest, I need to like readjust because I feel like I'm a little bit
hating on him.
I've been low on Godwin, not low, not like real low, but just comparatively to others. Damn, is he good? He looked really good, but I don't want to overreact to the game yesterday. But I need to go back and watch more Godwin. There goes DJ Chark. I took DJ Moore there because I still believe in his talent. And he started putting it together at the end of the year. I know Robbie Anderson took all the thunder at the beginning of the season, but I think DJ Moore in the 4th round in redraft leagues next year is going to be a value.
Yeah, totally agree.
Antonio Gibson. I was really hoping that I could go Chris Godwin, Justin Jefferson, that he was going to make it back around to me, but he did not. Big Dylan stole him from me.
I'm so excited for my Pat has been. I've been trying to see if he wanted to make a trade with Ronald Jones, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to wait until the Bucks are out of the playoffs." So week after week, I'm like, "Yeah, this week I'm going to make the trade," and then stupid Bucks.
They just keep on winning. NBA is going the RB heavy strategy. I mean, with this much freedom, you can draft 4 running backs. He'll be able to start Nick Chubb, Austin Eckler, Joe Mixon, and J.K. Dobbins every single week in this league.
Probably get good value later on wide receiver.
Yep. I'm going to have to. So you're going to have a running back heavy team. You only have to start 1 wide receiver. Dylan said, whichever you did, I was going opposite. I had it between them 2. Oh, so I would have never gotten both. It wasn't like I played myself. So I'm glad I took Godwin. Cooper Kupp, Saquon Barkley, Julio Jones, Adam Thielen, and Cooper Kupp. Adam Thielen fell super far in our dynasty startup draft as well. Like ridiculously far. No, Adam Thielen. Probably because people are scared of Justin Jefferson being there, but I think both of them can produce in that offense.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're both going to be top 10 wide receivers next year like they were this year. I think Justin Jefferson will be, but I don't think Adam Thielen will be. But he'll probably be a really solid wide receiver too.
I was so
Like
mad that he went right before me, and I was going to take Thielen because it's so late. And
oh shoot, I have to set this one manually. Okay, I need to pause because I almost
all right, you
missed
handle
it.
that. Jeff was saying CEH was not impressive. Yep, yeah, it wasn't. I don't know what's going to happen with him next season. Like I do believe in the talent, but um, I don't know that is going to be something that gets fixed sooner rather than later. And it seems like the trend is going down. And Jeff says he still likes him for next year.
I believe it was Justin from 14 Personnel who tweeted out, imagine DeAndre Swift in this Chiefs offense. Like, or every time I see CEH, I just imagine what if they had drafted DeAndre Swift instead. I tend to agree with that. That would be scary. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's hard to always just make that like direct comparison and be like, oh, this player in this situation, because there's a lot of factors there. But
sorry, I'm laughing. NBA Rick says, did I nail this draft again? If you think so, type Taco. Is that a league reference? I don't think you're the Taco of this league. Your running back core is looking pretty deep.
Taco.
I don't think whatever platform you guys are on, I don't think you can see the comments from all three, like the YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope comments. But whenever we comment, it sends a triple of our comment in our chat because it's sending it to all three platforms. So whenever JL typed Taco from our account, it just immediately said Taco in all caps 3 times. Where are you going to go, Parker? P. Sewell? Oh, I just outed him.
Oh,
now
no.
People know his name. All 15 people watching know exactly who Parker is.
Parker, yeah.
So we got
that's all you had to say.
T. Higgins. I grabbed T. Higgins in our Dynasty League, and I'm super excited about it. JL, I don't know if you noticed in the Superflex League that we're drafting in right now, but 3 of my wide receivers are DeAndre Hopkins, T. Higgins, and Mike Williams.
I told you that you're drafting my favorite team. You know what? I didn't say it was before you drafted Mike Williams, and I purposely let him out. I typed out to you like, now all you have to do is take Mike Williams. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna tell him. Maybe he'll forget.
Josh Allen, I did not forget. Josh Allen, the second quarterback off the board.
I hope my guy makes it back to me.
Who are you looking to get?
I'm not telling you. Stinky butt.
How do you know? Is it because I just ate Wendy's and you know what that does to me?
Yep.
Oh, shoot. This is another one we have to set manually. I almost forgot. Pause draft. So who we want? Deontay Johnson is this pick. Oh, I have to click manually set player.
NBA said, how would you grade Rodgers and Josh Allen yesterday? Rodgers would be between a C and a B. Josh Allen would be a solid C. I also like how you just skipped D and went straight to F.
Only Kirk Cousins gets the D.
Greg.
Kirk Cousins and his good friend Bill.
God. No one's going to get that joke unless they saw that exact live stream that we did.
Well, if you did, shout out to Bill.
Shout out to Bill, Kirk Cousins' little friend.
Swamp says, so Rodgers is a B- and Josh got a C+. I'd say that's fair.
It's generous.
NBA said draft paused. Why? Because I had to manually set the pick for John. His sleeper isn't working, so I almost forgot to set it for him, so I paused it so it didn't auto draft. Cortland Sutton, that's a player I'm super curious about. Jay, I believe you grabbed him in our Dynasty League after I grabbed Jerry Jeudy. I believe I drafted Jerry Jeudy before Cortland Sutton. But
yeah,
I'm really curious because he is talented. Like we've seen it. It's not just like a what if. Like we've seen Cortland Sutton show that he's talented.
I do that all the time.
Me too. Cortland Allen is for those of you who don't know, he hosts a podcast called Indie Hackers that Jail and I listen to. Jail more than me. That Jail listens to and sends me episodes to listen to that I never listen to. But for some reason, every time I go to say Cortland Allen, I say Cortland Sutton. And every time I go to say Cortland Sutton, I say Cortland Allen. I mix them up 100% of the time.
Same.
It's like I had a friend in college who could never get it right whenever he was talking about a TV show. He would always say movie. And whenever he was talking about movie, he would always say TV show. Like somewhere in his head, those got switched.
Oh, God.
Did your player go off the board, John Luke?
No, that's who I wanted was Robert Woods. But
Bobby Woods?
I'm going to wait because I'll talk more about it in a minute.
Well, Josh sniped me with my first pick. I really wanted Travis Kelce. But that's
You're
okay.
still mad about that?
I'm still mad about that.
Now, I just realized that Gesicki went really early. Oh, Josh, that's who damn it.
David, my opportunity.
I have Robert Woods like a tier above, but the more I was talking about the running back heavy strategy, the more I kind of liked it. Like, you can get a lot of wide receiver value later on. But really, it doesn't matter. So if I had Robert Woods a tier above David Montgomery, I should go Robert Woods in this format.
I'm going Kyler Murray here.
Interesting.
In the 5th round, I feel like that's great value on Kyler Murray. And I'm actually pretty there's a tier of running back coming up that like I view similarly. So if I can get one of those guys, since I only have to start one, I'm pretty okay with that. Like I'm almost viewing quarterback and running back in a similar vein in this draft, because how I'm looking at it is the way my draft started, I'm probably starting one each week. I'm probably not starting it unless you've got a team like
yeah, but you got to count the fact that the running backs can be played in flex.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're right.
Man, interesting. I feel like Josh always goes early on DJ Shark. I mean, not like super early, but he always definitely reaches for him. I think from what he said, it sounds like he definitely believes in the
or he just super believes in Trevor Lawrence, and he's got to have someone.
I love that narrative. Honestly, I love the narrative that like all of these Jacksonville players are going to just like get a huge boost from Trevor Lawrence. That's so fun.
There goes OBJ. Okay, and now it is my pick. And I'm going to go ahead and take my running back, Kenyon Drake.
Your best friend. You took him in Dynasty.
I did take him in Dynasty. He fell really far in that Dynasty league. He was my second running back.
I won't touch him in Dynasty. It's too scary.
Yeah, I get that. I'm expecting another 2 years of decent production out of him. As an RB2 in Dynasty, I'm totally fine with it. If it's the right value. I'm not reaching for him in Dynasty at all. But that Dynasty league, I started out, it's a super flex. I had the first pick, Patrick Mahomes, and then I went wide receiver heavy. My next 4 picks were all wide receivers, and then I went TJ Hawkinson. But it was DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs, Michael Thomas, and T. Higgins were my next 4 picks, followed by TJ Hawkinson. So just so you guys know, all the preaching I do about not valuing running backs as highly in a dynasty startup draft, I'm putting into practice in our other league. I went quarterback and wide receiver very early in this super flex league. Now, JL, on the other hand, because I was drafting on the turn, he was drafting a little before me with some of the picks. He got some great value on some running backs. I think you got Dalvin Cook in the 2nd round.
No, I got Dalvin Cook in the 4th round.
In the 4th round? Yeah, it was wild.
I usually do the same strategy as you, but because everyone went so wide receiver heavy, there was so much value at running back that, I think that you got to be flexible with that, because then, you're going to be able to trade those pieces. Or, I think Dalvin Cook and Zeke are incredible. They're both extremely talented. And so, I'm sorry, I got Dalvin in the 3rd round, Zeke in the 4th round.
That was it. Brandon Cooks, Robbie Anderson.
Rob Anderson.
John said it's working. Your draft's working now. We'll test it out on the next pick.
Yeah.
Josh said you took Cook with the 3rd pick of the 3rd. Swamp said you got Dalvin Cook and Zeke that late. Yeah, it was a super flex league, so they were going a little bit later in dynasty startup. So I guess running backs were devalued even more. And guys like DeAndre Swift were going ahead of guys like Zeke, some of these younger running backs.
We like Deshaun. I was considering going to Deshaun Watson there, but I just can't bring myself to go QB in the 6th round.
I know it goes against everything you believe in. In this format, I'm a little bit more flexible with going tight end and quarterback early. In a usual league, if I go tight end early, I'm probably not going quarterback early. Dak Prescott, I feel like he might be the forgotten man going into next season, and he very well could be a top 2 or 3 quarterback with the receiving weapons he has there.
For sure. Josh said Rodgers B, Josh Allen C+. Timmy McD says GOAT, David Opportunity. Yep, I think he'll have a good year next season. I'm not expecting the same production as this year, but a lot is going to be changing there, so I'll probably have a different perspective by the time the season comes around.
Yeah, we'll see. I think he'll still be decent, but Tariq Cohen should be back, and who knows if they add another piece. Who knows who their quarterback is.
Did you already talk about this? He said he came very close to taking Kyler, but hoped in PPR redraft he would drop another round. Yeah, I mean, I think that is totally reasonable. Just depends on what people in your league, what they feel about drafting QBs.
So the reason I took Kyler there is there was a couple running backs I was like viewing similarly, Kenyon Drake, Chris Carson, and there's a couple guys that are still sitting there that I have in like a similar vein for next season. At quarterback, it was just Kyler Murray that I viewed in that vein. The next tier down, I believe, like Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, that's a tier break for me, Kyler Murray. So I went with him.
Oh, there goes your man Herbert.
There goes my boy Justin Herbert. Had Kyler been gone, Tim McDaniels, had you gone Kyler, I probably would have gone running back and then Herbert in the following round. But we'll see. I don't know. NBA said, what were your top 3 defensive players yesterday? I don't know.
Let me think about that for a second. Sorry, I was looking at the draft board. Jair Alexander. Definitely.
Sorry, I was just trying to
Debo, then Myles Gaskin. Myles Gaskin is super interesting.
Yeah.
Like in general, he's another one who I'm just super interested to see how that plays out.
Yeah. Back to NBA. So yeah, like that's the one that immediately stands out with 2 picks. How can you not pick him as the one that like immediately stands out? That Chiefs defense looked like they were hyped up yesterday. Like I can't think of the specific players, but they were ready to fight, but not in a bad way. Like they came into that game nasty, ready to go.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't seen the Chiefs defense look like that this season.
Yeah.
If they come at Tom Brady like that, I would find it very difficult to think that the Buccaneers are going to win that. But you know what? I have gone against the Buccaneers in every single game in the playoffs this year. I've picked against them every time, and they've pulled out the wins. And you know what? I'm going to freaking do it again. I'm going to pick the Chiefs over them. So we'll see what happens.
Me too.
Maybe I never learned my lesson, but I would almost feel worse if like the first time I picked them to win was in the Super. Like, how am I going to pick them to lose in every single round? The wild card round, the divisional round, the conference championship round, then pick them. NBA says, don't show the hate against the Bucks. It's not the hate against the Bucks. I've just thought they were the worst team every round, and I've been wrong every time. But that's okay. We'll see if it happens to me again. Marquise Brown, this tier of wide receiver is super interesting to me, especially in dynasty leagues. Whenever you get to the Marquise Brown, the Henry Ruggs, I see like Devontae Parker going in a similar range to them. I don't know what to make of them. Like Hollywood, you've seen flashes from. Henry Ruggs, you haven't seen flashes from, but you had one game that was like a super big flash. I think it was like week 3. I don't remember exactly. But he's shown that he could be that, and he was drafted the first wide receiver off the board, but there's just this uncertainty. Jamison Crowder.
Oh, God. I don't want to do what I'm about to do. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to zag and hope that Denver gets a better QB.
There you go.
Aaron Rodgers.
That's good value on Aaron Rodgers. This is this is getting tricky. But let's see.
NBA breaks at Sorensen. Yeah, for sure. Sorensen is like the hero of the playoffs because he didn't. I mean, I guess it's not a good thing, but he's the one that caused the touchback, right? With when he played the Browns. Wasn't that Sorensen?
I should remember that, but I feel like I've blocked out specifically what player it was. Yeah, he was the one that hit Higgins. He was the one that targeted Higgins for the touchback, but that's okay.
But I'm sure to his team, he's the hero.
Oh, for sure. So I went Michael Gallup there. That maybe surprises some people, but I truly believe that with Dak Prescott there, that all three of those receivers can produce next year. I think Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, and Amari Cooper will all be valuable receiving options next year.
Oh God.
And now it is my pick again, and I'm going to go.
What are you talking?
With Jerry Jeudy.
Oh wait, my sleeper is so weird on the desktop. It just was showing like your picks is under mine, so I thought it was on the clock.
Nope.
Scurry.
Jerry Jeudy's one of those players that I think had his value might be the lowest that it's going to get. We'll see. There's uncertainty there. I believe in his talent. I believe in his route running ability. He had some drop problems this year, but he also had Drew Lock throwing him the ball, which very well Drew Lock could be throwing him the ball again next year. But I believe he'll develop a little bit more, and he's an unbelievable receiver.
Yeah. Okay. Some players I missed that I did not see were taken.
10 seconds left. Jay Fust. Melvin Gordon, another Bronco.
That's who I was trying to decide. Is like, do I want to take that chance? Because he was silently pretty decent.
Yeah, he had a pretty good year. I saw someone compare his season and Kareem Hunt's season this year, and I didn't realize how close they were, like on a points per game basis. Melvin Gordon was actually a little bit more consistent. It might have been DFF Carp again. And now that I'm thinking about it, he might have been the one that put that out.
We just take your tweets and pretend like they're all right.
And he puts out, everyone go follow him if you're not, because he puts out amazing content and an unbelievable amount. He's always putting
incredibly intelligent. Yeah, he's very smart. I went Rojo.
Andrew wants to know what's your guys' prediction for the Super Bowl. I wonder who he's cheering for. I can't quite figure it out based on that profile picture.
He's probably a Packers fan, and he's just upset. So he's probably going to go with the Bucks.
Okay.
So that the Packers can be beat by the team that is the best team. People kept asking me that whenever Clemson, lost to Ohio State. I was like, no, I want Ohio State to lose so bad. I want them to feel this pain.
Yeah, people were like, oh, so I guess you're cheering for Ohio State now. No. Nope.
Ooh, David Johnson. I like that pick.
Yeah, I'm pulling for the Chiefs. And as far as my prediction goes, I think the Chiefs win, and it's not close.
I think it'll be close. I think it'll be really close.
If the defense that showed up against the Bills shows up against Tom Brady, I think it's game over. I really don't see a way the Buccaneers win if the Chiefs defense plays the way it did against the Bills. We'll see, though. We shall see.
Tom Brady to be over.
Me neither. But then we get to start prepping for the draft. We can dive into rookies, but then we won't have any more football games.
Yeah, I do love the draft.
We can become hockey fans. I'm working on it.
No, I don't want to be a hockey fan.
I'm working on it. My adopted team, the team that I decided I'm a fan of, won last night. Toronto Maple Leafs.
Nice.
We're 5-2. I got to start saying we so that I start believing it, that I'm a fan.
My fantasy League of Legends drafts are yesterday, and guess who I got? Sven kind of disappointed me last year. I'm sorry that he's on my team. Yeah. I have no idea.
Actually, I don't even know if he disappointed me. I just know my team was awful, and I drafted Sven first and then Svenkerson in the second round.
And you were the Svens.
And I was the Svens.
I like that name.
Look at that mini tight end run right there. I feel like that's a decent spot in redraft leagues for those three guys to go. Evan Ingram, Hunter Henry, TJ Hawkinson. Of those three in redraft next year, JL, which one's your favorite?
I don't like that question. Ask me a different one. I don't know.
I think it's still Hawk for me, but I think he's my favorite of those three. Obviously in Dynasty and then in Redraft as well, though. There is that little bit of uncertainty, which kind of makes me lean towards Hunter Henry, which is weird to say that he's the safest of those options, but I think he is. Gus Edwards, Devin Singletary. Has Zach Moss gone yet?
I think Hunter Henry over Hawkinson, but I don't know. I don't really like Hunter Henry usually. No, I don't think Zach Moss is gone.
In Dynasty, are you drafting Zach Moss or Devin Singletary first?
Zach Moss.
I agree. Packer fan says Hunter Henry pair with QB. Honestly, that's the thing that makes it close for me, is that Hunter Henry has Justin Herbert throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
Marvin Jones, there's your favorite player, JL. He's gone. You can't get him now.
Oh, no.
What's up, Kev? Bird up. Also, JL, you have a hockey team recruiting you to be a fan. You can be a Hurricanes fan with him.
What is a Hurricane?
They're a team.
I don't like Hurricanes. I guess if I had to choose, I'd be a Capitals fan because I grew up.
But you also went to school in the Carolinas, so being a Carolina Hurricanes fan could make sense.
Hurricane. It could, but that wouldn't make that much sense because I'm not a Carolina anything fan.
Jill, I'm sure you knew this, but did you know that the Carolina Panthers played their first NFL season in Clemson Stadium?
No.
Their first NFL season was played on Clemson's campus in their stadium.
Did they run down the hill?
Probably not. But isn't that cool? Can you imagine being a Clemson student at the time where on Saturdays you got Clemson games and on Sundays you got Panthers games in your home stadium?
That would be so cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Did you watch the Clemson movie yet? Clemson Disney movie?
I did watch the Clemson movie and I cried, okay?
I can't believe you didn't say anything.
I did, just not to you.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I'm not a little cheesy, and some things were accurate, other things weren't. Like,
yeah,
obviously they filmed a lot of it on campus, but like when he goes to the bookstore or whatever, I'm
That's
like, man, that ain't the bookstore.
That's not the bookstore.
No pool tables in there.
Or when he was in the dorms, I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, where? Yeah, that's not man.
That is not the shoebox.
That is certainly not Johnstone.
That is certainly not. Man,
jail
people used to like shit on the shoeboxes where I lived, but it was pure luxury compared to the dorms where you lived freshman year.
Yeah, the all male tin box.
Your walls were literally metal, like sheet metal.
Yeah, sheet metal. Yeah, it was that thick.
You could hear everything on the entire hall. If someone's alarm went off, you heard it. Oh, you're on the clock.
Oh, butts.
Butts. Corey Davis, T.Y. Hilton. NBA said you guys got to remember these names. Shaq Parrott plus JPP plus Veda Vida.
Oh, yeah. Vita Vea. Vita Vea? How do you say it? Vea Vita? Remember when they drafted him? Vita Vea. There it is. Sterling Shepard. So I finally went QB.
Man, Josh freaking sniped me again. I wanted to go Sterling Shepard here. That's okay. Josh knows the guys that I like in these later rounds. Probably because we talk sometimes.
Sometimes. Every day at 3.
So you know what I'm going to do here? Just because I'm testing things out. Because this is a league where I can start. No, I'll see if he comes back to the next round. I'm going to go Jalen Reagor right here.
I like that.
In redraft leagues, I love the value on these disappointing rookie wide receivers, the Jerry Jeudy, the Jalen Reagor, the Denzel Mims, the Michael Pittmans, because obviously the guys like Ayuk, Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, like you got to see how awesome they were. I still believe in the talent of these other wide receivers, and it's very reasonable for a rookie wide receiver not to perform their rookie year. Like that is the norm. It's abnormal for players to do what Justin Jefferson did.
Yep. No, I completely agree with you. And I went back and looked at the tape of like all the plays that Jalen Reagor ran this year, all the snaps that he ran this year. Not snaps, all of like the times he was targeted on Game Pass. And just to see, like, obviously the box scores were disappointing from a fantasy perspective, but like, what was going on, right? Like, was he being talented and like the throws weren't there, or what was sort of happening? And he looked good by all accounts. Like most of the, Wentz was just not really accurate at all through all these passes. So when he did get the ball, he looked super talented, super athletic. So I'm excited. I hope that he takes that next step. But it'll be
I agree.
interesting with if they keep, they're staying with Wentz.
I'm going to go something here that I don't usually do. I need to dive more into him, watch the tape from the last season he played,
More
but
into him.
I'm going to take Tariq Cohen here.
Oh no, you son of a gun!
I think Tariq Cohen could be a sneaky pick going into next year because he missed this entire season.
That was my next pick.
And I need another running back. So NBA says one more round, then he's got to head out. You guys love or just like my team? Look at that confidence. He's like, yeah. I know you at least like it. Yeah, I was about to say I'm a little bit worried about wide receiver, but honestly, you only have to start one. And with Nick Chubb, Austin Eckler, Joe Mixon, and J.K. Dobbins all in your starting lineup every week, it's pretty sexy. It's like the opposite of my team, what you got going on over there.
Yeah, I like your team. Yeah, I probably would have wanted to blend, like, get like a real wide receiver one in there, but
for me, like
maybe instead of Joe Mixon, I probably would have went wide receiver. But
yeah, you could have grabbed Allen Robinson, Chris Godwin, Justin Jefferson there. That probably would have elevated your team for me. But then if you ask Josh, he loves Joe Mixon still. It just depends.
Oh God, you didn't tell me I was on the clock.
You're on the clock. Do you want me to pause it?
Hold on.
I paused it, and I can, if I resume it, I believe it'll set your timer over.
Where did Jarvis Landry go?
He got taken in the 7th round.
Okay.
First pick of the 7th round by P. Sewell. Oh, and P. Sewell's a little bit upset. Sorry, P. Sewell, aka Tim McDaniel 17, aka Angry Saints fan, really wanted AJ Dillon. You can fight Jay for him. We'll have fisticuffs after this, and the winner gets AJ Dillon. Jay Fused with LaVisca. Oh, I just realized me, you, and Josh are drafting back to back to back.
Damn it! I wanted LaVisca.
So we took the 2 players that you wanted. You got 20 seconds, Jail.
Oh shoot! Shoot!
This is after I reset your timer for you and everything.
I know, but you guys took all my guys.
10 seconds.
I have no idea. I'm just gonna take somebody.
Tilt.
I can't pick.
1 second. Time's up.
Whoops. Todd Gurley.
Get nice. Todd Gurley. Make sure your auto draft isn't on now. Oh, because it has you listed as auto draft.
Nice. Well,
we turn that off.
A wasted 10th round.
You don't believe in Todd Gurley for next year?
Nope.
Where are you drafting Todd Gurley, if at all?
Not
even in like the 13th round?
Nope.
We got 30 seconds left. Jail, turn your auto draft off.
I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
The website doesn't let you. I'm guessing I have to open it up my phone.
I think you do.
We really got to find a new mock draft platform.
Yeah. I like Fantasy Football Calculator, but it doesn't like let you choose it yourself. You just pick a mock draft lobby to go into. That's the only thing about that one, but we could do some on there.
Yeah, I'm so mad it took Todd Gurley.
NBA says chill and peace out. Chat with you beautiful people next time. See ya, NBA.
You NBA. Good to see you.
With us. Oh, and he took Dallas Goedert right there. Damn. I don't mind that pick. TJ Hawkinson and Dallas Goedert, at least one of them. I like that strategy. I did that quite a bit this past season, taking 2 of those potential breakout tight ends, Noah Fant, Mike Gesicki, Jonnu Smith, some of those guys this year. And it worked out all right. It wasn't exactly what I was hoping for. Logan Thomas and Robert Tonyan. There we go. Whenever I said I was going to do something different with that pick, I considered going Robert Tonyan, even though I have George Kittle. I could see him being a valuable flex in this league since we're starting 5 flexes. In most leagues, you don't start 2 tight ends, but when we get to this point, you really could start 2 tight ends. NBA says, I love Sleeper. Please keep this platform. We like Sleeper a lot too. The only thing is sometimes like the mock draft doesn't work as well on our computers. It's a lot more like optimized for mobile than it is for computer. Desktop, one could say.
Yeah.
Or tutor, as Titus Andromeda would say in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
I've never seen that.
It's pretty funny. He calls it a contutor. You got 10 seconds, Sewell. We got 3 rounds left. Jalen Hurts. I'm interested. It's been interesting to see where he goes in Dynasty League right now, because there is uncertainty about if he's even the starter next year. Like from what I've read, the coaching staff wants to like commit to Carson Wentz, but we shall see. Damian Williams, that's another player that gets lost sometimes because they sat out this year.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so much uncertainty there. Man, but I've been having such a hard time like keeping up with all the players that are gone.
Tim McDaniel says, got to take that QB flyer to possibly sling a trade. It is harder to trade a quarterback in these 1 QB leagues. But with a player like Jalen Hurts, who could be like a top 12 quarterback next year, because he's got that rushing floor, I see no harm in taking him this late. There's serious upside. Where are we going now?
Let's see. Baker Mayfield. I like that.
For those of you still drafting with us, we do these mock drafts every Monday. If there's any specific type of mock draft you want to see, let us know, and we can try to throw that in the queue for one of the upcoming weeks. I know Sean has requested IDP. Maybe we can do that later in the season. I just need to prepare some more before we do that. I am so not in touch with IDP. Maybe we can bring on an IDP expert to draft with us, one of the guys in the community who's really good at IDP, and we can talk about that a little bit more. But that is so not my forte. It might be counter beneficial for us to do an IDP mock draft. Damn, there goes Philip Lindsay. I was hoping Philip Lindsay would make it back to me. You stinker.
I took Todd Gurley last round. All right, give me a break.
Okay, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
I'm so mad about that. Now I'm gonna have to deal with everyone going, "Huh? Why'd you take Todd Gurley at the 10th round?" I'll have to explain it. Be like, "Oh, it was auto draft."
I'm gonna take Darius Slayton.
It's a solid pick. I like that.
Paris Campbell. Yeah, there's some good. That's the one thing I think we've learned doing these drafts. Like one of the biggest takeaways is the wide receiver value in the mid to late rounds is always there.
Yeah, for sure. Dan is
good at IDP. Maybe let's talk to Dan, see if he can come on for some IDP specific stuff. Because I know Sean has requested it multiple times. And I feel bad. That is not our forte. We do not know.
There's not a lot of content out there on it either, because a lot of people don't play it.
And I actually started a dynasty league that has IDP positions in it, thinking I would dive into it. And now we all everyone's like, oh no, no one knows what they're doing.
It just ruins the competitiveness now.
No, it doesn't. It makes it more fun.
Suddenly someone will just get like 40 points.
Maybe I think it's more fun because I've got Aaron Donald.
Yeah. I got Darius Leonard that I got off the waiver. I had no idea who he was.
Tony Pollard.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. I stole your handcuff or your backup.
Yeah, I like Pollard.
Hey, JL, Gurley might have been a reach there.
Who said that?
John.
I'll kill you, John.
That was an auto draft. I
know it was a reach. Stupid.
Oh, you should have made jail. The worst part about that is you were also given 2 full timers. Like the timer went down to 5. Oh
no, because it's going to look even stupider. Well, I
Tim
didn't think that
McDaniel
you
says,
restarted the timer. I thought that you just had it paused, so that's why I
no,
had.
I restarted it for you. Tim
Thank
McDaniel says, whoa, whoa, whoa. I know what I'm doing. He's talking about an IDP. Just go into free agency in week 5 of each year, take the most consistent player, run for the playoffs, profit.
Yep, that works every time.
Sean says, how do you feel about drafting 2 tight end, 2 QB in this format? Do you feel it's better to add more running back wide receiver instead of tight end 2 and QB 2? Yes, I think it's better to add more running back wide receiver depth because most likely, like, it's probably you can only start one quarterback and you most likely only want to start one tight end. There are exceptions to that, but the most likely scenario is that you end up starting a total of 7 running backs and wide receivers. So I think it becomes even more important to value those positions.
Yeah, you got to get the depth. I mean, I'm okay with getting like a backup if you wanted to, especially you got to look at what your league mates are doing, right? If everyone has a backup, then it becomes a little bit more important to get that depth because you can't really stream as easy. But if they're not, then you can kind of stream and find this value, really far back in the draft. But you're only starting one every week. And so if you get that that main cornerstone guy as your QB or tight end, then you don't need to worry about it as much.
Yep. And
I'm certainly not reaching for them unless like maybe tight end if the person is like close to the same value as wide receivers or running backs on the board.
Alan Lazard. So JL, I was wondering if you had a quarterback. I didn't see you took Matthew Stafford. Are you worried about his value next year with the uncertainty, or do you think it's going to be all right?
I mean, I think it could go either way. I think that people are gonna the uncertainty is causing people to be worried, but I'm hoping that he lands somewhere where his value gets way up and that becomes a value. Looking back, I probably would have went Joe Burrow, but I'm just worried that he's going to be injured.
That he's not going to start the season.
Yeah, and in redraft, that worries me. I don't have to take 2 QBs.
Yeah, that's a very real possibility. Last round, Gabriel Davis. That's a great pick to end the draft. It's a dynasty sweetheart right there. People love him.
I got him off the waiver wire.
And by people, I mean me. I love him.
I'll trade you.
Okay, I'll give you a ham sandwich.
No, I don't eat ham.
And I don't have ham. So, man, we have reached an impasse.
Well, no trade can be done then.
No trade available. Where's Swamp going with his last pick? Is he auto drafting it? Maybe.
It's possible. Can I interest you in Todd Gurley there?
KJ Hamler. He did not auto draft in at the bell.
HJ Camler.
Gabe Davis is the best example of a valuable lesson.
What does that mean?
I'm not quite sure what you mean there. Does he mean like a value lesson? Take the random guy no one has heard of drafted in the real life 4th. Gotcha. So like the real example of value. Yeah, people were not hyped on him, but you got to trust the NFL scouts if they took him in the 4th round.
Right.
That's a great point. That's a great point. What was the other thing you just said? Over the Devy guy, hyped up, who went undrafted. Yeah, sometimes the dynasty community or the Devy community gets so excited about these players, that you forget that NFL scouts, it's their full-time job to look at who these players are. Nelson Aguilar, D.D. Westbrook, Mark Ingram, Derek Carr, and what are you going to do with your last pick, John Luke?
I don't know.
Does Josh have a quarterback? Yeah, Josh does have a quarterback. He often leaves these drafts without quarterbacks.
I don't know. How much time? 30 seconds. Oh, God. Okay. All right. I'm going to go with my last pick, the NFL draft. I'm going to go. I'm just going to go with like super high upside, extremely low floor.
Yep.
Not extremely high upside, just a little high upside.
DFF Carp says, I'm no genius. Trusting the draft capital usually pays off over my personal judgment. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because it's
not that you're not a genius. I agree with trusting
I agree
trusting the experts.
Yeah, it's the sunk cost fallacy, right? Like we drafted in this high, we gotta at least do something. It takes a lot longer to get move on from those guys versus someone you just kind of have, and that's why there's concern with James Robinson, right? Like any of the guys like that. Duke Johnson.
It is my pick.
Startup. Sean said today was super helpful. This is literally the earliest I've ever taken a QB. Don't really like my team, so this helped me decide never to go QB early. Yeah, and that's what this is all about, Sean. Right? We talk about that all the time. Like, there's been a bunch of these mocks and even real life drafts that I've been doing recently where it's like, don't love how that team turned out, and so, it's so hard to. There's not like a super straightforward way to draft really well. And so you got to try these different things. And as soon as you start going into these other formats where it gets more complex, it becomes a lot more difficult, right? If you're picking rookie picks, super flex, tight end premium, those are all different, add different levels of strategy, which are fun, but, definitely require practice because you can just have a bad draft, right? Especially when if it's not a slow draft too, even with a slow draft, but when there's a timer, it's just like sometimes you auto draft Tog early in the 10th round.
Yep. Oh, and G-Man J went with the other player I was considering with my last pick to end the draft, Preston Williams. I was between Preston Williams and Brian Edwards.
He sounds like a magician.
Brian Edwards or Preston Williams?
Preston Williams sounds like the name of a magician.
It sounds like what a magician would say, like abracadabra, Preston Williams. And then a football appears.
Out of your butt.
John said, I wonder who would come in second if this was a real league. I assume he's saying he would come in first, and then he's wondering who would come in second. Probably, I think NBA would say he would come in second.
I think all of us would say we would come in first.
I'm pretty sure I would come in 10th, but we'll see.
I don't know. I have to look.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about this draft tomorrow, but we have already gone 20 minutes over. I wanted to thank all you guys for sticking with us through this mock draft. I know it went a little bit long, but this one was fun. It's interesting to see how the strategies changed whenever there was less need to fill certain positions. Like you see some extremes, like Big Dylan, where he drafted 5 wide receivers in a row after 1 running back, or NBA who drafted 4 running backs and then 2 wide receivers. That kind of stuff doesn't usually happen whenever you got to start 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers. There's a little bit more bouncing back and forth, especially in redraft. But yeah, we're going to keep mixing these up. We'll do these every Monday. John wanted to do a super flex during the offseason. Oh, I clicked on the wrong comment. Super flex dynasty startup. Yeah, we can do another one of those. We'll throw that in there maybe next week, but we'll keep you updated. Now, if you guys enjoyed doing this and you want to watch our previous ones or you want to watch this one back, you can find it all on our YouTube channel and on Twitch. That's Front Yard Fantasy for both. This video will be up there, and all of our old mock drafts, previous streams where we're playing games are on there too. And you can get notified when we're going live in the future, so you never miss out.
And follow us on Twitter, because we typically announce when we're going live.
Do follow us on Twitter as well. There's our handles right there. I'm at FYF Simon. John Luke is at FYF John Luke, and our company Twitter handle is at Front Yard FYF. That's where we'll post the streams when we're going live, but Jail and I retweet it as well, so you won't miss it if you follow us.
And Jeff too, when he's here.
And Jeff, but for some reason his Twitter handle is at FYF Josh. That's where you can find
the Roost best team. I'm sure that is completely objective, and that you have no affiliation with the Roost.
Yep, 100%. That is a fully objective, not biased opinion at all.
I like Sean. I'm coming in last. Everyone's all cocky, and Sean's like, nope, I'm coming in last.
Sean's like, I'm done. And Swamp called it before that his team would be Da Booty, but I haven't looked at it enough to determine whether or not it is in fact Da Booty. But tomorrow, or maybe we wait until Josh comes back.
Who?
So maybe not tomorrow, but the day after, whenever Jeff. Or I don't know when he's coming back. Once we get him rescued from the Purina factory, we'll have him run through some of these teams for us since he wasn't here to discuss live. What Sean says, Front Yard Fantasy for life.
Front Yard Fantasy for life.
Well, at least for an hour every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. ET.
Part of life.
Jay says he's coming in 3rd or 4th. And with that bold prediction of a middle of the pack team, we're going to sign off for the day. John Luke, do you have anything you need to say before we jump off?
I don't, but Jeff did send me a distress signal in Morse code that said trading makes fantasy fun.
Trading makes fantasy fun in Morse.
I didn't know he knew Morse code.
I didn't know you knew Morse code.
I didn't.
Okay, you looked it up. We'll be back tomorrow, guys. Thanks for drafting with us. We'll see you then.
Can't wait for Jeff to predict me last again.